Hello, my name is Jennifer Havlat, and today I'm doing e-journal number 2, which is EDAD 762B for capsule 2A. The first prompt for this journal is, what steps have I taken to promote trust and shared responsibility? I think right now it's really important that we are working collaboratively with all site admin, especially as schools have been closed and we're starting to bring students on campus. Part of my role is to support not just the students that I oversee in the special education department, but looking at globally all the students and teachers that I can bring my expertise to help the site admin make decisions in how we safely and appropriately bring students back. And part of that shared trust is knowing that there are going to be things that are going to be delegated to me, phone calls that I need to make, parents I need to reach out to, teachers I need to discuss, emails that need to have people looped in, and knowing that I can be trusted to do that role and that I will follow up when I say I'm going to follow up helps establish that trust with the site admin and also with the site teachers as well. Part of the shared responsibility is in being a part of that team and making sure that the site looks at me as a leader just like they would any other site admin here, that they can come to me with questions, concerns, rely on me to help with any sort of problem solving, working with parents, helping with students, everything from helping figure out curriculum to how are we going to safely have students on campus that might have some more specific needs. And so really just working with the sites to help support anything that they need help with, and not saying, nope, that's not my job, understanding my lane, but also knowing that there's going to be times where the support's going to need to kind of flex and be more of a problem solving and might come out of my scope of my role, but still knowing that I'm here to support everybody, not just the special education department, because we are collaboratively here to support all students. The second prompt is how to facilitate diverse teams. I think every team is diverse, and I think that diversity brings strengths and weaknesses. And within the team that I work with at my two different sites, really try and know who has what strengths and where we can use those strengths to best support the students in the site. And then where weaknesses lie, how can I support, and being very transparent with my team members and knowing this is an area that we're going to grow in, and how I'm going to support you is by doing X, Y, and Z. And I want you to do A, B, and C. And we'll make sure that that's something that we're going to monitor and continue to work on, because we all have areas to work on. Sometimes diversity does bring challenges in looking at our programs. I know we've shifted a little bit in our district with some of our programs in terms of how we view our students in terms of what programs they are assigned to, and we're trying to get away from that, labeling students as being in a program, but more that they're getting the supports that they need. And that has been a challenge for some of our staff to embrace, but knowing that that is a vision that our district has, our department has, that I am very passionate about, and seeing the work that we do in supporting that will help those team members kind of get on board, and understand why we've done some of the things that we've done with some of our programs, either not having a particular program that we used to have, or shifting or changing what we do have. The diversity in people, it brings an added challenge with leadership, because you're going to have some people that obviously will feel strongly and voice that opinion, and you just have to be very patient and be able to listen to people and validate that they have concerns, or validate that they have something that they feel strongly about. And as a leader, you have to be able to speak to your rationale for why things change. You have to be able to articulate a vision and make sure that people understand that there's a purpose behind it. You're not making changes just for the sake of making changes, but that you are doing something that is meaningful and is going to impact students, and that you believe very strongly in the research and everything that you are doing that creates a change for students, that what you believe is going to be the best interest for them. And so just staying true to that vision and making sure that you don't waver in what that is as a leader, and making sure that your teams understand that whether we agree or we disagree, we are going to work together and we're going to try and utilize our strengths the best we can in the best interest of students. And I think the last prompt to this question is, what educational research supports our learning cultures? And I'm going to focus specifically on our students in our modified programs for this prompt, because I'm working very closely with that part of our department. And I think the research really shows that less restrictive and more inclusive is the vision that we have as a district, and that we want to make sure that students are receiving education that is as closely tied to the general education standards, that the curriculum that they are receiving and instruction is not only individualized, but it's also targeted to making sure that they're receiving as close to what they could be getting in a general education environment. And so working with my team of committee that I have been working with since last year, developing and utilizing curriculum that we have accessible to us, and creating a framework that will then align as closely to gen ed standards in the content areas, so that if you have a student who's a 10th grader in a modified program, they're getting science curriculum that says biology, and that aligns with what other students in a 10th grade science class would be getting in a general education setting. Granted, the work is modified and the curriculum is modified, but we want them to be able to say, yeah, I'm taking a biology class and I'm learning biology. So these things are very exciting and it's very important to me. And I think part of the research, the background to that, is that students really do better when they are exposed to more opportunities to learn like their peers, to have access to curriculum that is like their peers. And hopefully that we can start to break down some barriers with gen ed and special ed, and have more opportunities for students to work with their gen ed peers, and even go so far to say, thinking outside the box, that we could have teachers in our modified programs co-teaching with gen ed. Because if we have an aligned curriculum, I don't see why we couldn't do that. And so that's my big picture vision for our programs as well. That's pretty much everything, and I will see you next time.